Alright, how are we doing today, guys? My name is XFAwkward, and I want to talk to you guys about something I think is very, very important if you want to climb the solo queue ladder, and that is the mindset that you need to go into it. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. First things first, solo queue is not about winning the games. It is about improving as a player and being the best that you possibly can be, right? When you go into a game and you try to focus entirely on winning, you overlook your mistakes and you try to look for quick ways to fix the games. Now, the reason why this is an issue is because it's only like 50% of the time you'll actually win the games and 50% of the time you'll lose the games. And when you're just looking to fix all those mistakes immediately, you don't patch your actual gameplay, right? You're prone to repeating the same errors that you make when you don't focus on your own gameplay, right? If you tunnel in so much on blowing up the enemy nexus that you don't notice that you're missing a bunch of CS or that you're getting ganked consistently, then it's going to keep happening, and then that's going to make you lose more games in the future. So look to improve your own gameplay. And solo queue really is the best place for you to analyze your consistent impact in a game, because you're going to be the only person on your team every single time that you're going to be consistently matched with, right? Sure, you might get a few people here and there that get matched up a couple games in a row, but you will always be in every single one of your games, so you need to make sure that you are the best that you can be, right? Solo queue is about you. It's not about your team. Okay, you're the consistent factor in all of your games, like I just said, right? And the big lottery of players that you're going to get matched up against and matched with, you're supposed to be the ace in your hole, or the ace in the hole for your team, right? So if you're not playing your best and you're not winning your games, you need to be looking at yourself, not your teammates, to try to get better. Okay? You will get teammates that are going to feed, they're going to troll, they're going to AFK, they're going to rage, and it's going to suck. And keep this in the back of your mind, so will the enemy team. Alright? Although this happens to you every now and then, you need to keep in mind that it's actually more likely for the enemy team to get somebody like this than it is for you, because assuming you're not one of these categories, you're taking up one of the slots in your team that can't be filled by one of these feeders or trolls or AFKs and ragers. And let's be honest, we've all been on the good side of that trade, where we've gotten a free win that we didn't deserve because of really, really bad enemies. So, moving on, let's see. When you go into solo queue, you want to play your best and you want to improve your best gameplay, right? And this is very, very important, because when you go into solo queue, you're more often than not going to be matched up against 5 other people that are trying their very best to win the game, right? And playing anything less than your very best is going to give them an advantage that they don't need. You're already putting your team at a disadvantage when you're not trying your best or you're not trying to play your best. When you try to play your best and you try to improve your very best play, you will be improving your average play, which is actually what solo queue measures, right? When you improve how well you do on average, that's when you're going to start climbing, because more often than not, you're going to be making the plays that you need to win. And that's going to win you more games. That's going to bring you up on the ladder. Whereas if you just kind of play averagely and you just improve your very, very worst play, then you're only fixing a couple mistakes that would have cost you games here and there, not really a whole lot. So always look to play your very, very best and always look to improve that. Now, if you know you can't play your very, very best and you can't give it your all, don't play ranked. Go do something else. Go play normals, go play an ARAM, go play Dominion, go outside, do something else that you want to do, but don't play ranked, right? Ranked is supposed to be a measure of your skill, and anything that you give that's less than your best is going to completely alter that and not make it as accurate as a depiction of your skill level that it needs to be. Alright, so let's actually look at the mindset that you need to have. You need to keep a level head when you're playing solo queue, right? When you let things get to you quickly, you're going to go on tilt, and you're not going to play as well as you normally do, and you won't be able to analyze your gameplay. This is extremely, extremely important. When you're on tilt and you know that you're playing bad, you're definitely not going to make decisions you normally would, but what's more important there is that you're not going to realize that you're making very, very bad mistakes, which means you can't fix it in the future. So not only are you playing bad, but you're going to continue to keep playing bad, and you're just going to be upset overall. And that's not what we want. Now, keeping a level head, with keeping that in mind, if you make a mistake, accept that you still have room to improve and that you're taking the steps that you need to improve as a player, right? You're not going to be perfect, you're not going to be a pro player, and very, very few people actually achieve the massive long-term goals that they really, really want to achieve, but you will get there in time. So if you make a mistake, don't get all beat up, don't get very upset with yourself, just accept that, yes, I made a bad mistake and I'm going to work to improve it, and that's not going to happen again, right? Okay, when we're talking about attitude and League of Legends, this always comes up. People are toxic. People will rage. People will yell at each other. But whatever you do, don't contribute to that whatsoever, right? If people make mistakes, just let them learn. You know, you don't need to yell at them. You don't need to tell them that they're wrong. You don't need to teach them. You're there for you. You're not there for them. Okay, so don't contribute to toxicity. Just work on your own gameplay. Let it roll off your shoulder. Don't even worry about it. Keep playing. Okay. Now, what do we do when we get toxic players? You pretty much really just want to mute them right away. You want, as soon as you see a sign of a player being toxic or having a bad attitude, just mute them. And don't be afraid to mute them. If they're toxic, they're only going to hurt your temper and your mindset. And that's going to make you go back on tilt, which we've already talked about. You want to avoid that at all costs, so just mute them. Now, this isn't a big deal because you can communicate just about everything you need to do through pings, and they can still read your chat. So if you just type in something like, hey, I'm coming bot, to both your bot laners who are muted, they're still going to see that. If you ping that you're on your way, they're going to see that. So you don't need to worry about muting people. Don't make it a big deal if you mute people, right? You don't need to be like, OMG, you're such a noob, oh, you're muted, because that's literally just going to make the rest of your team play worse, right? This goes back to the idea of not contributing to toxicity, because not only does it hurt you, but it hurts your teammates, and they're going to play worse too. So don't do that. But if you are having a bad day, if you're having a bad day, or you're having a bad couple of games, or you're having a bad streak, you need to know when to take a break, right? If you're on a bad streak, you don't want to contribute to them because it's only going to hurt you even further, right? Play something that you think is fun, or just something that you would like to experiment, or that you would enjoy working on, right? If you normally jungle, go into normals and play like AD carry, play mid, play something that you would like to try out. Or maybe just play jungle too and try something fun. Just look to have fun, but don't play ranked or do stuff like that when you're not having a good time, or you're not going to be able to be a non-toxic member of the community. League of Legends is just a game. If you're not having fun, then it's time for you to stop until you do. With that being said, this is the end of my vlog. I would really appreciate it if you guys could check out my stream at twitch.tv/XFAwkward, or you can check out my Facebook at facebook.com/XFAwkward. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to post them. If you have suggestions for a vlog for me to cover, please let me know too. And thank you guys once again for watching. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye!